All right, I'm back with another album ranking video, and I figured why not do Iron Maiden. The studio albums only. They have 17 studio albums and apparently 13 live albums. So we can almost do a whole other video on just a damn live album. So I'm just gonna stick with the 17 studio albums. So I didn't get into Maiden until probably around seventh, eighth grade with the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son tape. Um, I saw Run to the Hills, and I knew like Number of the Beast from whenever they would have the news things like, oh, what are your children listening to? And they would cut in like six, six, six. But and actually before that, I was a big fan of the art because I probably had a couple of posters and mirrors that I won at carnivals. I'm like, damn, I gotta like get an album by one of these guys one of these days. So finally, I got one. 1988, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. That'll show up later. But I'm going to start and preface it by saying, well, I'm just going to say 16 and 17 are tied for last. And that would be the two Blaze Bailey albums. I mean, I don't know who likes those. If you like them, good. The X Factor and Virtual 11. I really have no use for them. I've tried. I've listened to a couple of. I listened to them both a couple times, and they're not they're okay. The vocals sound, it's obviously not Bruce level vocals, but just the way they recorded the vocals. I told my buddy Tony P the other day. I said it sounds like scratch vocals for a demo that they recorded, waiting for the real vocalist to come in and record. So um, starting off, I guess tied for last place, the two Blaze Bailey albums. So sorry. Wolfsbane, I've heard them pretty cool, but it just didn't it just wasn't Maiden without Bruce. So next up, number 15, Fear of the Dark. An all right album. Obviously, at this point they were probably getting tired of each other and needed a break, which they did afterwards. So it kind of shows in the music. It's a couple of good songs. Fear of the Dark, obviously an awesome live staple. I've seen them live twice, both times the same venue. Both times it was an outside venue, and hearing this live outside with like the nice summer breeze, hearing the Fear of the Dark song is fucking awesome. So number 15, Fear of the Dark. You're probably going to notice there's a lot of like the newer stuff. There's like, you got like 80s Maiden, 90s Maiden, and 2000 and beyond Maiden. So I personally think a lot of the newer stuff is kind of like just long. I mean, there's no really a sense to have albums that long, and I don't know. The songs, there's good songs in there, but yeah, for the most part, I'll stick with like the '80s and early '90s Maiden. But yeah, it is what it is. So that's just my choice. So number 14, Final Frontier. Um, kind of dull, kind of boring. The awesome artwork. I love the artwork. But yeah, this falls way down there for me. I listened to all this the past last weeks to prepare for this, and I've been all Maiden for pretty much a week straight. So yeah, this is low in the totem pole for me. Final Frontier, number 14. Number 13, another newer one. Matter of Life and Death. It's okay. There's a couple of good songs in there. I can't. That's the problem. You really can't name a lot off the top of your head. I've heard some live, and they're good. They're cool live, but mixed in with the old stuff. So that would be my number my number 13. Matter of Life and Death. Number 12, another one newer. Dance of Death. Once again, a couple of good songs in there. I can't name any off the top. I wrote some down here, but damn it, it's the new stuff. So they usually kind of start off kind of strong, these albums, and kind of throw another one or two good ones in there. But they make for good live tracks. But yeah, this number 12, Dance of Death, and Coming in at number 12. I'm sorry, that was number 12. The Dance of Death, number 12. Coming in number 11. Uh, Another new one, Book of Souls. I have this special edition. I don't know why I have it. There's really nothing special about it. It's big, and it comes in like a slipcase. So I guess that's enough to be special. Um, a couple of good songs. Okay, it's kind of long. 91 minutes. I mean, for Christ's sakes, an hour and a half long CD. If I want an hour and a half of music, I'll make a playlist and have different songs in there. But yeah, it's a little long-winded for me, but not bad. Better than the other ones. Number 11, Book of Souls. Now I'm probably going to say this next one incorrectly because I don't speak Japanese. But the newest one comes in at number 10. Sentussu. You guys know how to say it probably. I'm not good with stuff like that. But yeah, it was a pretty strong album. On there's some good songs in there, but yeah, I really can't name any or hum any off the top of my head. But when I hear them, it's like, oh yeah, okay, that's a good song. And then you see it live, it's like, oh, it makes it a little better. So, number 10, Senjutsu? Someone help me here. I don't know. Coming in at number 9, one I got on tape early when it first came out, and I never realized it had different artwork. No Prayer for the Dying. A couple of good songs, but once again, it was kind of like falls to like the Fear of the Dark. You can kind of tell it's actually some of these songs are just kind of quick. A lot of 3 and 4 minute songs, kind of like they want to get it over with. But I like Tail Gunner, Holy Smoke. There, Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. It's cheesy, but I like it. So yeah, number 9, No Prayer for the Dying. My number 8 pick would be Killers. There's a couple of good songs there. Paul Di'Anno, vocals. A lot of people give him shit, but I don't know. He sounded exactly like the new wave of British heavy metal back then. This is the first 2 albums, and they still have some classic songs in there. Wrathchild, Murders in Rumor, Killers. But solid album, number 8. Not bad. Good for me. Next up, number 7, the return of Bruce, Brave New World. Love the Wicker Man. Love that song. And they play Blood Brothers a lot, and live. It was nice to hear him again after the whole failed Blaze Bayley experiment. But solid album for sure. I don't know, some people might not rank it that high, but it was a good return for Bruce. So yeah, number 7, Brave New World. Number 6, I was kind of surprised at this one myself. Peace of Mind. I haven't listened to it in a while, and holy shit, does it start off strong. Where Eagles Dare, Revelations, Diary of Your Bhutan, the first side, and then you get the Trooper. And then the last 4 songs, the album kind of peters out. It just kind of like, what happened? It's like they blew their load real quick. And I don't know, not a bad album, but definitely thought it would be higher on my list, which it's not too bad. Number 6 ain't too bad, but there's some songs in the end there, just you kind of miss it. And a slightly better album to me would be number 5, the very first one. They still the classic songs in there for sure. Running Free, Prowler, of course. Shout out to Harlot. When I got this, I was new to the Iron Maiden game, so I think I got Seventh Son, and I got this one on tape. I'm like, why does the vocal sound so weird? Why does it sound so like it sounded groovy, but the only word I can think of. But yeah, I like it better than Killers. So, I mean, obviously. So this would be my number 5, the self-titled debut album. Paul Di'Anno vocals. That's okay. He's not a bad dude. Uh, Iron Maiden. My number 4. Some people might think it's a little higher on the list, but my number 4 would be Powerslave. Still up there high, top 4 for sure. Ace is High, 2 Minutes to Midnight. And goddamn, I wish Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner would be a little bit shorter, because that album would be so awesome, But it's a little that kind of loses it for me. So, but definitely classic. Definitely probably, I don't know, pretty high point in Maiden's career right there, and they were still riding, and they would still ride high after this. So number 4, Powerslave. And number 3, coming in at number 3, everyone's favorite, everyone's classic, definitely for sure. Can't go wrong with that one. Number of the Beast, Run to the Hills, awesome songs. Children of the Dam, one of my favorites. I mean, that I would say that put him on the map. Bruce's first one. Number of the Beast, awesome album. Number 3. Now we're getting down to number 2. Classic. I love this album. Somewhere in Time. Awesome songs in there. Caught Somewhere in Time. Wasted Years. You can't go wrong with those. It just sounds so good. This is like right here. This was like, oh, Maiden right here. I actually got the album from my friend Tony P. So that was my very first Iron Maiden album. I never had a Maiden on album at all. It was just I got it in when tapes were still around. So my very first album, it took 30 years Somewhere in Time. And my number 1, as I mentioned before, my very first Iron Maiden album I got on tape. I'll listen to this. I've listened to it so many times when I got it. My number 1 album, yes, said it before, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Holy shit. Infinite Dreams. The Evil That Men Do. The Clairvoyant. I love those songs. And this whole album in general, and that goes to like my question I always ask my friends about movies, and was this the greatest, or was it the greatest because it was the first time hearing it? Like horror movies of back like the 70s and 80s, were those really greater because they were just better than the newer stuff, or was it just greater because that was the first experience? It's the first time seeing stuff like that. So I don't know. You tell me. Is this the best Maiden album to anyone? Top 3, top 5, top 10? When did you hear it? I heard it early on in life. It was my first album, like I said, and to me, it's the greatest one. So, number 1, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I'll take it any day over anything. So, I love it. Great album. So, that was just a quick little video. Just wanted to go through the Maiden albums. There's maybe 1 or 2 other bands I'd like to do. We'll see how it goes, but thanks for watching. As always, up the irons, long live horror and metal. Thanks.